Hey, yo, ELCI crew. How you guys doing? Well, I'm down at the river today. We're doing some work down here. So you remember that we were swimming down here and it was pretty fun. The river's really cool and stuff. The trouble is when you come back out of the river, your feet are muddy and all messy. So what we did on the little path down to the river, I've poured cement stairs. So now it's a lot easier to climb out of the river. And when you come out of the river, you don't get as muddy or fall down in the mud or something like that. So you can see that in the river, the bottom is just kind of gravel and rocks. So it's pretty nice. And then when you come out, you just step on these rocks right here. And then the rest of them are cement steps. So up here at the top, in this flat area where right now it's just kind of dirt, this is where people tend to change their clothes or take their shoes on and off. So up here, I want to put pavers. Now, what is a paver? Well, it's kind of like a brick. So this is a paver. And so I've got a big pile of pavers that I brought down here. And these pavers are going to be laid down like a sidewalk or something in this area. But before you do that, you always want to remove your organic material. What is organic material? Well, it's like grass and roots and stuff like that, because later on, those things will be underneath. And when they rot, they'll shrink. And that's where you get low spots. And so what you want to do is scrape all that stuff away. So we've done that. We've scraped away some soil to get the organic material out. And then what you do is you use some road building fabric. Now, road building fabric allows moisture to pass through, but it's a really strong fabric that won't let the gravel go down into the mud. So you won't lose all your gravel and you won't have a muddy mess, and it doesn't let the weeds grow up as easily. So we're gonna put that down. Then we're gonna put some gravel. We're gonna smooth it. I'm gonna get the boy to pound all that gravel with something heavy, flatten it all out good. And then we're gonna start putting pavers down so we have a better party spot down at the river. So now I got the fabric down. We'll cut the excess off later. We're gonna dump some gravel in here and we're gonna make this look beautiful. All right, so right now, we're just trying to see how much gravel we need and what we need to do here. But what we're gonna do, this is treated lumber, so it won't rot for a long time. But what we have is we have some old pipe that we cut up, We're gonna drive that in the ground to hold these boards in place so everything stays together. So that's what we're doing right now. And you just have to big hammer. Ground's pretty soft here, so it goes pretty easy. Until you hit a rock. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then the gravel comes right up against like that. And then, this is why I have children. Get a bunch down in that far corner over there. It's low over there. Smile. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get this all nice and flat and level. Do that by kind of moving board back and forth and moving it down to where you need it to be. That helps us to get it good and flat. Okay. There's a special kind of machine that we use to smash down the ground to make sure there's no air in it. And that'll make it so the ground stays flat for a long time. I don't have this machine, but I have a large son. You can see when he does it, that it really does punch the ground down and take a lot of air out and make sure that it's all the same. That's important. How do ELCI crew? All right, we're gonna start laying these pavers now. We've got the gravel pretty smooth. It's kind of rough gravel. I like to use a finer gravel for this, but if it was at my house, I'd try to make it perfect. But here, it's just kind of rough camping style, so it doesn't matter that much. So what we do though, is we try to get a paver settled in to its spot. Then you take this mallet, and a mallet is a rubber hammer, and I can beat on the bricks. If I used a regular hammer, the brick would break. But I can hit them pretty hard with a rubber mallet. It just makes them sit down. Now see, this one's a little high, a little too high. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull a little out like that, and I'm going to set it back in place, tap it in, give it a few whacks, and I've got it nice and smooth. Now if I got one that's too low, I just take a little gravel from somewhere and throw it in to raise it up. That way I can keep them all pretty smooth. And that's how it works. It's pretty easy. Now see, this is what I like to see all of my slaves working. Work, slaves! Work! Come on now.
We're working!
It's not even. That was a lot. I can pull through this one. It wasn't texting.
So my daughters did a pretty nice job laying the pavers. Right now, we are going to pour some concrete. Usually you cut the pavers, but this is not a fancy job. It's just a forest job. So we're gonna pour some cement in some of these holes. I'm gonna pour another stair right here, and then we'll fill around here. There's one spot at the bottom. I'm gonna put a little more cement, and then we'll be done here. So now at the bottom of the stairs, we just poured a little bit of concrete. Mostly it's pavers though, so you can go up and down out of the river, all on these cement stairs. Now we're gonna fill in some of these holes. So my number one son here is shake it a little bit there. Just gonna pour a little bit of this good cement we're mixing up here. Dump my boy, dump my boy.
This isn't working.
Keep coming, that's not enough. Keep coming. I can always scoop it to the next hole, so don't be shy. Excellent, okay. So now we're gonna kind of screed it off with our trowel. Usually use a screed board for this, but we're just gonna kind of screed it like this. Ooh, very handsome. Push that over like that. Oh, look at that. That looks pretty good. All right, next. All right, so we kind of filled in the gaps, and I started fooling around, kind of making fake bricks with the cement. It turned out okay, so I thought I'll just finish it out like that. So that's what we did here at the bottom, even though it was just going to be flat cement. And this is about done. Tomorrow, after this cement sets up, then we'll cut this extra fabric off, and it should look all right. Hey. So you can see there's still some gaps in between the bricks right here. And you can see it'll still wiggle just a little bit, even though we pounded them hard. So the trick for that is you take some sand like this, and you let the sand go in between the cracks, and you just sweep it in, and that locks all the bricks together so that they can't move anymore. So, but I'm gonna let the cement set up before I do that. I'm just gonna dump the sand on top so it can dry, and then I'll kind of show you the results after it's done. Yo, ELCI crew, just wanted to show you guys a little bit of the final product of the paving down here at the river. It turned out all right, you know, it's pretty solid with the sand, works good. Even our little fakey bricks where we poured cement came out okay. So a good place to hang around. Some little fish, bugs swimming in the water. It's really clear and nice. And then you just step right up onto this cement, right up the stairs, and have a bench and a big area. So a few days ago, we actually came down here and set up a cooker and cooked hot dogs for dinner and had an evening in the river with dinner. So next time, you guys got to come and have dinner with us at the river. See you later.